Picture this. You open your phone to check one quick message, and 30 minutes later, your mood is shredded, your to-do list forgotten, and you're 2 threads deep in a fight you never meant to join. That viral thread didn't just steal time, it redirected energy. Today, I'm going to teach you 3 simple 90-second frequency filters you can run before you click, reply, or scroll. These are tiny habits that protect your focus and preserve dignity. Ready? Let's dive in. First, a quick frame. These filters are for low to medium stakes content, social posts, headlines, DMs that ask for a knee-jerk share, stuff that often hijacks attention. We are not censoring or suggesting you ignore duty. These are smallest correct rules. Pick one filter and finish with one tiny, measurable action. No avoidance, only calibrated choices. Overview. The 3 filters: pre-scan, source seal, and time gate. Think of it as spot, filter, prove. You spot a potentially distracting item, you run a 90-second filter, and you record a micro piece of evidence so the filter becomes a decision, not a habit of skipping. I'll give exact lines you can paste into a message, templates for timing, and a 3-day probe so you can measure the difference. Filter 1. Pre-scan. 90 seconds. The checklist. 1. Intention test. Why would I open this right now? 2. Outcome ask. What decision might this push me toward? And is it necessary in the next 72 hours? 3. Emotional brightness check. Will this likely raise my heart rate or drag my energy? If any of those answers suggest low value or high reactivity, don't click. Paste ready lines to read or use before opening. Quick pre-scan. Is this required for a decision I must make in the next 72 hours? Or, quick scan. Will reading this change my work or obligations today? The key: be specific and short. Worked example A. A breaking headline appears. Ex-CEO did Y. Pre-scan and practice. Ask the intention test. Is my role such that I need to act on or comment about CEO news in the next 72 hours? Most people will answer no. Outcome ask. Will this change any current projects? If the answer is no, choices. Save it to a read later list with a timestamp. Schedule a 15-minute read later, or ignore. Micro evidence action. Save the link with a 1-line note. Saved 1012, not required in 72H. That single timestamp turns an impulse into a measured choice. Filter 2. Source seal. This is a 1-line verification probe you use when a claim or request triggers outrage or urgency. The goal is to test origin, motive, and amplification risk without amplifying the claim yourself. Paste-ready verification prompts you can send in a DM or thread. Quick check. Source and context? I'm avoiding amplifying unverified info. Or, for a request, can you share the original source before I weigh in? Want to be careful with sharing. These lines protect dignity and reduce tribal escalation because they slow the spread without calling people out. Worked example B. You get a heated DM asking you to share this now about a viral claim. Instead of reacting, send the source seal line. Quick check. Source and context? I'm avoiding amplifying unverified info. Pause. If they push, the next micro task is private verification. Find the original link, note the timestamp and author, and then decide whether to amplify. Again, micro evidence. Save a short note like verified 1405, primary source credible, or unverified 1407, do not share. That single note prevents a reactive share and preserves your reputation. Filter 3. Time gate. When something pulls you into a spiral, endless replies, comment doom scrolling, set a short, reversible consumption window. 5 minutes for quick scans, 10 to 20 minutes for deeper reads. Pair that window with a micro task that converts feeling into proof. Examples of timing templates. 5 minutes to read and capture 1 sentence of takeaways. 15 minutes to write a time-stamped 100-word note.
or 20 minutes to fact-check and list sources. The gate makes consumption intentional and finite.
Worked example C. You're in a social feed spiral. Set a time gate. I'll look for 10 minutes and then write one time-stamped note of what I learned. At minute 10, stop and capture the note. Timestamp, one sentence, next action. Save, schedule, or ignore. That note is your micro-evidence. Over time, you'll collect proof. Fewer reactive posts, more calm minutes, clearer decisions.
Now the 3-day frequency probe. This is your experiment plan. Day 0, pick one filter. Days 1 to 3, use the filter whenever you encounter low to medium stake content. Record 3 conservative metrics each day. Number of reactive posts you would have made but didn't, minutes saved from impulse consumption, and micro-evidence produced, timestamps or short notes. Example targets: reduce reactive posts by 2 per day, gain 15 calm minutes daily, and create at least one micro-evidence note per instance. The smallest correct rule means you must finish every filter with one micro-action, a saved link with timestamp, a short note, or a scheduled revisit.
A few quick calibration points so these filters aren't misused. First, the pre-scan asks, is this required for my role or values in the next 72 hours? That reduces false negatives and reminds you to escalate when something truly matters. Second, when you use source seal in public, use the consent line I gave and verify privately before you call anyone out. If a public flag lands wrong, offer a brief repair. Thanks, that was premature on my part. I'll follow up after verifying. Third, avoid turning filters into avoidance. The micro-evidence step prevents that by forcing a small, observable outcome.
Before we close, 3 quick paste-ready starter lines to keep handy. 1. Pre-scan starter. Quick pre-scan. Is this required for any decision I must make in the next 72 hours? 2. Source seal starter. Quick check. Source, context. I'm avoiding amplifying unverified info. 3. Time gate starter. I'll read for X minutes and then post a time-stamped note of what I learned. Copy those into a Notes app and try one this week.
Final thought. Your attention is currency. Protecting it isn't avoidance, it's stewardship. Run one frequency filter this week. Record the micro-evidence and watch how little disciplined choices compound into calmer minutes and clearer outcomes. Small experiments win over grand promises every time.